How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I need to talk to you today about Bionano. So they just came out with some news. The stock's pushing down right now. I need to hit on it because I know a lot of people will be talking about it. Bionano is a penny stock that we've been buying recently, and I'm going to try to get this out to you as soon as possible, ASAP, because this is much more important. The news and the coverage is much more important than me saying so please try to get through that and not be too annoyed at me. But Bionano just announced that they were going to do something that I've been saying that I wanted them to do for a while. So I'm going to cover that. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate that. Hitting subscribe too if you haven't done that already. We still, about half the people aren't subscribed. So definitely hit subscribe there. If you guys want, I found out this news through WeBull. I saw the stock drop down and they pull from all different news sites. So there's a news article. I clicked on it, figured it out right away. You can check that out down below if you want some free stocks too. They give you up to $3,700 if you deposit $100. It's a lottery system. And last thing, I did announce to my Patreon members right after this happened. So if you want to check that out, I get out news as quickly as possible when I hear about it. So BNGO is down a little bit. You can see they're pushing down about 7.5%, and they dropped right when the market closed. They dropped down 8.5% right off the bat. So if you've been looking to buy into BNGO, they're down a little bit now. The thing is, they announced, I'll pull it up here, that they plan on offering some shares. So I'm just reading through it now. I saw that they were going to offer shares. I have not read how much yet, but I want to go over it so you guys can see exactly my thoughts in real time. So you can see here, Bionano, they say, announced today that it plans to offer and sell, subject to market and other conditions, shares of its common stock in an underwritten public offering. There can be no assurance as to whether or when the offering may be completed or the actual size or terms of the offering. Bionano also expects to grant the underwriters a 30-day option to purchase up to an additional 15% of the number of shares of common stock offered at the offering to cover over allotments, if any. All the shares in the proposed offering are to be sold by Bionano. So we've seen direct offerings, but this sounds like it's a public offering, so we'll be able to pick up shares. Now, right now, it doesn't look like they've said how much they're going to actually offer. They say that they are not giving terms on that yet, or whether it will actually happen. Now, I like this. I think this is important. We were running low on cash as a company before, and we've seen this with other companies where they rise up a lot. They were tight on cash before, and now, since they've moved up so much, we dilute shares and we actually offer shares and we raise a lot of capital. Now, we often see major drops after this happens. We can see 10% drop right now, but I like this. I've been saying that I want them to do this because we need more cash. We need to be able to scale. We need to be able to have the kind of cash on hand that is good for the company. Now, nothing dramatically has changed. They haven't even offered the shares yet, but they're saying that they might do this in the future. Just look at the company's share price. They were at 50 cents just a couple weeks ago. Even like 2 weeks ago, they're at 70 cents. So the thing is, they've moved up almost 10x from there. This is the best time for them to issue shares. This is the best time to dilute. This is the best time to offer up more money. I like this. I wanted to see this from the company because if you don't know, okay, so let's say they were worth 70 million a couple weeks ago. If they offered money, and let's say they needed 12 million to make the math, or 14 million to make the math easy, 14 million, and they were worth 70 million, they would have to dilute by about 20% to be able to, or offer shares up to about 20%, and that would be if they sold them at the price that they were trading at the time. They would have to sell a good portion of the company to raise that 14 million. Now that they've moved up a lot, now that they've moved up 10x, now they only have to offer 1/10 as many shares and dilute the company 1/10 as much to get the same amount of capital. That's the reasoning behind it. That's why when companies move up so much, a lot of the time they'll raise a little bit of capital because it's cheap. When companies are trading very expensively, where they've moved up a lot. They'll sell shares a lot of the time when they're trading what they think is very inexpensively. They'll buy back shares because that increases their earnings or their revenue per share. So this makes a lot of sense. I like what they're doing. I think this is a little bit of an overcorrection, but this is kind of what I would expect when they offered this kind of information up. Now, we've seen this happen with other stocks too. We saw NNDM. They've been doing this for months. Pretty much as soon as ARK Invest started buying them, they started shooting up. They've offered shares, I think, 4 or 5 times just over since October. And you can see that they've moved up from $1.41 all the way up 562%. Whenever this happens, they fall down and then they come back up. They fall down and then they come back up. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to necessarily happen to BNGO. I'm not saying that at all. But I am still holding on to my shares. And again, I think of it as possibly a buying opportunity. I'm not trying to sell out and try to time it and then buy back in or anything like that, because with stocks like this, it's so risky. I mean, we've seen an NDM do that very regularly where it falls 20% and then the next day it's up 25% or something like that. So I'm not trying to do that, but I'm going to stick to the same thing that I've been saying the entire time, which is if it falls down to double my cost basis. So if it falls down to $2.50, because again, we were able to get in really early. Shout out to the Patreon for that. I heard about it really early, around $1, even less than $1, bought in at $1.25. If it falls down to $2.50, I will probably sell. Now, I realize that might sound weird because I am pretty bullish on it, but the thing is, at that price, we're getting so much less per share if we do dilute, and that's what I've been talking about, or if we issue shares, we're getting so much less that we're going to have to sell a good portion of the company. So at that point, I will probably sell it if it falls down that much. I don't think it will. I think there's too much bullish sentiment, and if it falls down a little bit more, I might actually pick up some shares. So I realize that sounds really weird, but if it falls down to $3 or so just on this news, maybe $3.50 or something, maybe even a little bit higher than that, I might pick up some more shares because I realize that there is a lot of potential in this company. I'm not scared at the fact that they're diluting shares or offering shares. I like that, but I'm curious your thoughts. BNGO is one that is back and forth, it seems like every day, but it's a stock that I like. I became a little less bullish after a recent kind of conversation between another YouTuber and someone at ARK Invest. But I talk about that more in a video that I did last night. I put it up really late, so if you didn't see that video, you can definitely check it out. I'll put it up on the end screen along with another one. I think it's one, though, that you should definitely take a look at. The other video was taken down recently, but I haven't been notified of anything. So so I would definitely check that video out if you want to know maybe what I'm thinking, why I'm a little less bullish than I was before. But I like the dilution. I like the share offering. I want to see them do this. I want to see them do this. So definitely check this out. If you guys were upset that I did this after hours, this was announced after hours. So I'm covering it, I think it was like 4 minutes after the market closed, or after they announced this. I'm covering it like 4 minutes later. So if you guys want news even a little bit faster, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. Again, stock's fallen. If you want my updated opinions on it, I update them in Patreon every so often too. Thank you guys so much. If you want to see the video on a stock that I'm really, really bullish on, you can check out the video up here. It just went live a little while ago, but there's a lot of news on it that people aren't covering. And if you want to see my other video from last night on BNGO, you can check out this video here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in one of these videos. Bye.